When you have a conversation with someone, how often do you feel that you're being misunderstood? That you're trying to explain something, they're not understanding, so you just give up. You just walk away and you go, never mind. Or you're saying it over and over and even in different ways, and they're still not getting it. So then you just go do it yourself. Or you're listening to someone else, you're not understanding what they're saying, but you think maybe you do. So then you go and act on what you think they said. And then acting on what you think they said ends up being incorrect because that's not what they said, or maybe that's not what they meant, but you went ahead and did it anyway. So then it leads to misunderstanding or conflict or tension because no one's clarifying what actually was said. So, a tactic when I can talk that I like to use is saying, "Does that make sense? How can I help clarify that?" What I hear you saying is because oftentimes what happens is people don't think before they speak, they just start talking. And you, as a recipient, aren't really sure what they're saying. But then you don't want to say, I don't know what you're saying, or I don't understand, or can you clarify it? Because you don't want to look dumb. You don't want to look like you don't understand. You don't want them to think you weren't listening. Like all these things that go on in our heads about what we think they might think about us. So we just don't do it. And then we go and act on it, and it's wrong or not what they were saying or not what they were thinking or wanting from us. So a tactic I use is what I hear you saying is, and that gives them the opportunity to clarify if that's what they were saying, if that's what they were meaning or asking for. What I hear you say is that correct? That gives them all the time to correct it if what you said and what they meant were not the same thing. In order to relieve misunderstanding, conflict, or any kind of disagreements, make sure you have absolute clarity, especially if it's a really important issue. Because
Right.
true communication isn't about talking
Me
more,
eat
it's
food.
about getting
Right.
clarity
I
and
eat
having
food.
patience and
Yeah.
listening
Food.
to what the other
Yes.
person is
I eat
saying
food.
and
Yes.
trying to figure out what it is that they mean. So maybe sometimes we say too much and we just keep talking and talking to fill this space, to fill the void, but yet we're not really saying much and we're not really communicating what we are saying. So, can you actually say less and communicate better?